We're diving into the 2021 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why it's causing a lot of excitement in the world of coin collectors. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be checking every penny in your pocket to see if you've got a hidden gold mine. Or maybe just checking your couch cushions. Who knows, you could strike it lucky. Alright, let's break it down. Most of us, when we think of pennies, we think of that shiny copper coin we toss in the jar, or maybe even the ones we throw into fountains for luck. But let me tell you, not all pennies are created equal. Some of them are worth their weight in, well, not copper, but definitely a lot more. Now, the 2021 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny isn't your average penny. It's got some serious street cred in the world of rare coins. And here's the kicker, it's not about the rarity in the usual sense. It's actually all about an error that makes it one of the most sought-after pennies on the market right now. So here's the story. The 2021 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny was supposed to be like any other penny produced by the Denver Mint. But for reasons that only the Mint knows, maybe it was a little too much coffee in the break room, some of these pennies ended up with a pretty special feature. A significant design error. This error gives the coin its value, way more value than you might expect from a simple 1-cent piece. Now, what makes it so special, you ask? Well, these pennies have a minting flaw that makes them stand out from the rest. And coin collectors are hungry for these types of finds. In fact, this particular error is so rare, people are paying up to $2 million to get their hands on one. Let me throw in a personal story for you. One time, I was at a yard sale and I found a box full of random coins. I mean, there were a bunch of quarters, dimes, you name it. But as I was flipping through them like I was on a treasure hunt, I found one penny that seemed, well, off. It wasn't anything crazy at first glance, but it had some weird marks on it, so I kept it aside. Turns out, it was a rare coin from the 80s, and while it wasn't worth millions, it definitely paid for my lunch. Moral of the story? Don't sleep on those just pennies. Sometimes they're worth more than you think. Getting back to the 2021 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny, the real value is in the error and its rarity. It's not going to be easy to find. Trust me, these are super elusive, but if you do come across one, you could be looking at an absolute treasure. You're not going to find them in your standard change jar or under your sofa cushions, unless you're a pro-level coin collector, of course. But let's say you come across one and you think, hey, is this my golden ticket? How do you know? Well, you'll want to look for specific details on the coin. The design flaw might not be super obvious at first, but a professional coin grader will be able to tell if it's the real deal. Alright, so now that we've talked about the potential of a 2021 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny being worth $2 million, I bet you're dying to go through your change right now. And honestly, who can blame you? I know I'd be checking every single penny I could get my hands on. But here's the takeaway. Coin collecting is full of surprises. Sometimes, the smallest coin holds the biggest value. Whether it's a lucky penny or one with a crazy minting error, you never know what treasure you might have hiding in plain sight. So, if you want more tips, tricks, and strategies for finding coins worth money, and trust me, there are a ton out there, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out on any of the action. And hey, maybe share this video with a friend who might be sitting on a small fortune in their pocket change. We're diving into a super interesting coin, the 2020 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And you might be surprised by just how much it's worth in the current market. So, if you're into rare coins or just curious about where to find your next big score, grab a snack, sit tight, and let's dive into it. Alright, let's get into it. So, the 2020 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny. Now, don't go running to your pocket change just yet, thinking you've hit the jackpot. The thing about coins like this is they're rare for a reason. But what makes this penny so special? And how on earth can it be worth up to $1 million? You're probably thinking, it's just a penny, dude. They're everywhere. Well, yes, pennies are common, but a certain type of 2020 D-Mint Mark penny is anything but ordinary. Here's the scoop. The 2020 D-Mint Mark penny we're talking about is part of the U.S. Mint's special series commemorating Lincoln's 200th birthday. It's got some neat features like the updated reverse design and the mint mark placed right above the date. But it's not just the design that makes this penny valuable. It's a mix of rarity, condition, and the fact that some of these coins were accidentally struck with some major defects. Now, before you run to your change jar to search for one of these elusive gems, let me explain. This particular penny is super rare because a few of them were made with some mistakes that have significantly increased their value. Think about it like finding a misplaced autograph on your favorite book. It's way more valuable when it's a rare occurrence. So what are these mistakes? Well, some of these 2020 pennies were minted with improper die alignment, meaning they've got funky, off-center strikes. And, as it turns out, these errors are what collectors are drooling over. Now, don't be fooled. Most 2020D pennies are worth face value, just 1 cent. But if you're lucky enough to have one of these misprints, your coin could be worth a small fortune, like $1 million. Yeah, that's a lot of coffee money for the next few years. I remember the first time I learned about a coin with a misprint. I found this old penny in my change jar that had a slight chip on the edge. I thought, no big deal, just a weird penny, and tossed it back into the jar. Turns out, it was a rare error coin. Talk about a missed opportunity, lesson learned, folks. If you ever find something that doesn't look quite right, don't just toss it away. Take a closer look. Who knows, it might just be worth more than you think. Now, let's get into the specifics of the market value. If you manage to find one of these misprints, you're looking at a coin worth around $1 million, depending on its condition and the severity of the error. The higher the grade, the more it's worth. Some of these coins have been known to fetch crazy prices at auctions. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars for pennies. Yep, you can make a pretty penny off a penny. Crazy, right? But here's the kicker. These error coins don't just pop up every day. The chances of finding one are slim, like finding a needle in a haystack slim. But hey, that's what makes them special, right? The rarity factor.so. There you have it, the 2020D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. It might look like just another regular penny, but if you've got a keen eye and some luck on your side, you could be holding a small fortune in your hands. Just remember, always check your change, and if it looks off, it might be worth a second look. Alright folks, I hope you enjoyed this coin adventure with me today. If you learned something new, or if you just want to hear more tips on coins that are worth money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on future tips and tricks that might just help you strike it rich in your own coin collection. And if you've ever found a cool, valuable coin in your spare change, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. We're diving into the incredible story of the 2019 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yep, a penny. And guess what? This little copper gem is currently valued at a jaw-dropping $9 million. Buckle up, because I'm going to tell you why this penny is making headlines, what makes it so special, and how you might just strike it rich. Oh, and stick around. I'll share a personal story that might inspire you to check your piggy bank right now at SO. Let's talk about what makes the 2019 no-mint Mark penny so extraordinary. At first glance, it looks just like every other penny out there. Honest Abe's looking stoic as always. The year 2019 is stamped nice and clear, and there's no mint mark, meaning it was minted in Philadelphia. Nothing unusual, right? Wrong. What sets this penny apart is its near-perfect condition. Coins like this are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being absolute perfection. The 2019 no-mint Mark penny that sold for $9 million? Graded at a perfect 70. That's like finding a French fry at the bottom of your bag and it's still warm. Rare, right? Now, let me break it down. Millions of these pennies were minted, so the odds of finding one aren't that crazy. But the condition is everything. A small scratch or ding can drop its value faster than a toddler with a crayon near your walls. So, if you're going to hunt for one, handle it with care. Maybe bust out the gloves. Quick story. Last year, I was sorting through a jar of pennies. You know, one of those rainy day jars that's been collecting dust forever? I didn't find $1 million coin, but I did come across a wheat penny from the 1940s. I sold it for $25. Not life-changing, but hey, I turned 1 cent into 25 bucks. Moral of the story? You never know what treasures are hiding in plain sight. Alright, back to our superstar penny. You're probably wondering, why would anyone pay $9 million for a coin I could have tossed in a vending machine? It's simple, rarity and demand. Coin collectors love the thrill of owning something unique, and when the condition is flawless, the price skyrockets. Think of it like baseball cards or vintage comic books. It's all about finding the rare GEMSO. Here's your homework. Start digging. check your pockets, your car cup holders, that jar of change sitting in your kitchen. You never know when you'll stumble across a penny that could change your life. And before you go, let me ask you something. Wouldn't you love to learn more tips about spotting valuable coins, strategies for selling them, and maybe even hear more of my hilarious, borderline embarrassing stories? Then hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. Your wallet will thank you. All right, my friends, happy hunting, and may the coin gods be ever in your favor. We're diving into the mind-blowing story of the 2018 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. So stick around, because this little copper coin might just turn your spare change into a life-changing fortune. And if you've ever accidentally tipped a barista with one of these, my condolences. Now, before you run to your piggy bank, let's talk about what makes the 2018 D penny so valuable. First off, the D stands for the Denver Mint, where this beauty was struck. While millions of these pennies were made, there's a catch. A small handful of them are special. These rare gems have unique errors, tiny flaws during the minting process that collectors absolutely drool over. We're talking about things like double dies, off-center strikes, or an extra thick rim. To the average person, these might look like factory defects, but to a collector, these quirks make the 2018 D penny worth not just a pretty penny, but a millionaire's fortune. Quick story for you. A few years back, I was at my grandmother's house, helping her sort through an old jar of coins she'd been hoarding since, the Nixon administration. I joked, "Maybe you've got $1 million coin in here, Grandma." Well, lo and behold, she pulls out a 2018 D penny, and my heart skips a beat. We checked it out, no errors. But hey, we still got a solid 1 cent out of it. The lesson? It's always worth checking your spare change. That millionaire moment might just be sitting in your junk drawer. Now, here's where it gets really juicy. One of these rare 2018 D pennies recently sold for, drumroll please, $8 million at auction. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. $8 million. That's not just coin collector money. That's buy an island and name it after yourself money. And the best part? You don't need to be a coin expert to start hunting for these valuable pennies. All it takes is a good eye, a magnifying glass, and a little patience. So what are you waiting for? Go check your pockets, your couch cushions, and yes, even that cup holder in your car. That 2018 D penny could be sitting right under your nose, waiting to change your life forever. And hey, if you're as fascinated by the idea of turning pennies into paradise as I am, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I've got tons of tips, tricks, and strategies to help you uncover the hidden treasures hiding in your pocket change. We're talking about the 2017 D Abraham Lincoln penny, the one that's got collectors absolutely losing their minds. Stick around, because I'll spill the beans on why this coin is so valuable and how you might already have a fortune sitting in your pocket change. Plus, I'll share a hilarious story about how I almost gave away a valuable coin for free. Let's dive in. All right, let's start with the basics. The 2017 D penny comes from the Denver Mint, and it looks like your typical penny with Lincoln's iconic profile. But here's the kicker, this isn't your run-of-the-mill coin. A rare error during production turned some of these pennies into ultra-valuable treasures. We're talking about a die error or misprint that makes them unique. Why is that a big deal? Coin collectors love errors because they're like little quirks in history. Think of it as finding a Picasso painting with a smudge that makes it one of a kind. And when collectors get obsessed, the value skyrockets. That's how this penny ended up being worth a staggering $7 million. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your piggy bank, let me tell you what to look for. You'll want to examine the mint mark, the D for Denver, and then check the coin surface for unusual features, like doubled lettering, off-center strikes, or any signs of a minting mistake. It's basically a treasure hunt, but for grown-ups. Here's the funny thing. Last year, I had a big jar of pennies, and one day I decided to get rid of them because, let's be honest, who actually likes carrying change? I was this close to dumping them into a coin-counting machine when a shiny penny caught my eye. It was slightly off-center, and the date looked a little funky. Turns out it wasn't a 2017 D, but it was still worth $50. Imagine if I had thrown away a $7 million jackpot. Lesson learned. Always check your coins. So, what's the moral of today's story? Never underestimate the power of a humble penny. That 2017 D Lincoln penny could change your life, or at least your bank account. Go grab your change jar, turn on some good music, and start hunting. And hey, if you find one, I totally expect a shout out in your millionaire success story. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got more videos coming up on how to spot valuable coins, tips for building your collection, and even strategies for selling them for top dollar. Thanks for hanging out, and may the coin gods bless your hunt. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 2016 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that has the coin community buzzing. So, stick around because by the end of this video you might just want to raid your piggy bank. Alright, first things first, what's the deal with this 2016 penny? At first glance, it looks like any ordinary coin. Lincoln's iconic profile? Check. That shiny copper glow? Check. But the magic lies in its rarity. This specific penny has no mint mark, which means it was minted in Philadelphia. While that doesn't sound groundbreaking, here's where it gets interesting. Back in 2016, most pennies were produced without any major errors. But every once in a while, a coin like this sneaks past quality control, often due to a freak manufacturing glitch. Coin collectors absolutely love these anomalies. And when you add the fact that it's already from a year with relatively high-quality coins, it becomes a treasure. So, why is this particular penny valued at $6 million? It's all about supply and demand. In the world of numismatics, that's just a fancy word for coin collecting. Rarity drives value. Think of it like finding a first edition of a classic novel at a garage sale. Now, imagine that book also had a typo on the cover. That's essentially what happened with this coin. Experts believe there's a limited number of these pennies out there. One was recently sold at auction for an astonishing $6 million. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't mind finding one of these while scrounging for laundry money. Speaking of scrounging for coins, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was digging through an old jar of coins my grandpa kept. I was just looking for a quarter to buy a soda. Don't judge, this was back when vending machines still accepted coins. Anyway, I stumbled across a penny that looked weird. It had this odd discoloration, and I thought, why not check it out? I Googled it and found out it was worth $50. It wasn't life-changing money, but I felt like I'd hit the jackpot. Now, imagine that same scenario but with a $6 million penny. Suddenly, you're not just buying a soda, you're buying the vending machine, the company, and probably a yacht for good measure. If you're wondering how to spot one of these beauties, here's a quick tip. Look for the year 2016 and check for that missing mint mark. It should also be in near-perfect condition. Grading plays a huge role in determining a coin's value. If it's scratched up or dingy, it might still be worth something, but not millions. And remember, even if you don't find this specific penny, other rare coins could be lurking in your change jar. Now, you might be thinking, okay, cool story, but what are the odds of finding one? Well, they're slim, but the excitement of the hunt is part of the fun. Plus, learning about coins can lead you to other valuable finds. Think of it as treasure hunting without the need for a pirate ship. Alright folks, we've reached the end of our coin adventure today. If you're now inspired to dig through your couch cushions or raid your grandma's coin jar, you're not alone. The thrill of potentially finding a $6 million penny is real. Before you go, here's the deal. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, hidden treasures, and tips for spotting valuable money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Who knows? Maybe one of them has the 2016 penny just waiting to be discovered. We're talking about the 2014 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, its incredible value, and why it's causing such a buzz in the coin collecting world. So, grab your coffee or your piggy bank and let's dive in. Alright, let's get the basics out of the way. The 2014 penny with no mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Typically, pennies without a mint mark aren't rare, but this one is different. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, but the needle is made of gold. Or, in this case, copper. Here's why it's worth so much. There's a unique error that happened during production. Some of these pennies were double die strikes, meaning the design was stamped twice, creating a subtle but fascinating overlap in Lincoln's profile and the lettering. Collectors go wild for these kinds of errors because they're rare, unintentional, and, let's face it, kind of cool. Now, the kicker, a pristine example of this coin in mint condition sold for a mind-blowing $4 million at auction. That's not just a penny for your thoughts. That's a penny for your dream house. Let me tell you a little story. A few months ago, I was going through my couch cushions, looking for the TV remote. Classic, right? Instead, I found an old penny. My heart skipped a beat because I thought, what if this is one of those valuable ones? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But it reminded me that treasures could be hiding in plain sight. You might not even realize you're holding a piece of history and a jackpot. Right in your hands, here's a pro tip for spotting a potential winner. Look closely at the coin's details. Use a magnifying glass if you can. Check for doubling on the date or lettering and make sure the coin is in great condition. Even small scratches can impact its value. So handle your pennies like they're little Fabergé eggs. And don't just stop at the 2014 penny. Rare coins come in all shapes and sizes. Think of it as a treasure hunt that pays off big-time. So what's the takeaway here? Next time you're sorting through your change, don't just toss those pennies aside. Give them a second look. You never know when one might be worth more than your car. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could turn your pocket change into a fortune, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of treasure hunters as we explore more coins worth big bucks, tips on collecting, and strategies for spotting valuable pieces. Who knows, the next video could lead you to your $1 million find. We're diving into the mysterious and oh-so-fascinating 2013 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's turning heads and bank accounts in the collector world. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one because who knows? That penny in your pocket could be the key to your next dream vacation. Or, paying off your student loans. All right, let's talk about this legendary penny. At first glance, the 2013 no-mint Mark penny doesn't look like much. It's got Honest Abe on the front, the Lincoln Memorial Shield on the back, and no-mint Mark, meaning it was made in Philly. But what makes this penny worth a jaw-dropping $3 million? Well, folks, it's all about rarity and condition. This particular coin was accidentally struck on a bronze planchet instead of zinc. For context, the U.S. Mint switched from bronze to zinc-coated steel in 1982 to save costs. But every now and then, an older bronze blank sneaks through the production line. Think of it like finding a chocolate chip in a bag of raisins. Rare, sweet, and totally unexpected. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was at a flea market, rummaging through an old coin box. The seller had no idea what he had, and neither did I. I grabbed a few pennies, thinking they'd be cool for a video, and guess what? I didn't strike gold, but I did find a penny worth $20. Not bad, right? Moral of the story, always check your coins, people. Back to the 2013 penny. One of these beauties was recently sold at auction for $3 million. Why so much? Because it was in pristine condition. We're talking MS-69, almost perfect. And the coin world loves perfection. Plus, the history behind a mint error like this adds to its value. So, how can you tell if you have one? First, grab a magnifying glass. Look for that rich bronze tone instead of the usual coppery color. Next, weigh it. A bronze penny weighs about 3.1 grams, while a zinc one is lighter at 2.5 grams. If your penny passes these tests, congratulations, you might have just hit the jackpot. All right, my fellow treasure hunters, here's the takeaway. That loose change in your pocket might be worth way more than you think. The 2013 no-mint Mark penny proves that even the most ordinary-looking coins can hold extraordinary value. So, what are you waiting for? Go grab that jar of pennies, start inspecting them, and who knows? Maybe you'll be the next big winner in the coin world. And if you liked this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth money, plus strategies to grow your collection. Hit that like button, share this with your friends, and drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin? Let's hear your story, or at least your best penny joke. We're diving into the 2011 Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that's turning heads in the numismatic world. That's the fancy word for coin collecting. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot one of these jackpot pennies and maybe even fund your dream vacation or, just pay off your student loans. Alright, let's talk pennies. The 2011 D penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. These coins are super common. You've probably seen one 1,000 times and didn't think twice. But here's where things get spicy. Certain 2011 D pennies have rare errors or unique conditions that make them incredibly valuable. Now, before you grab a magnifying glass and dump your piggy bank on the floor, let me explain. The $2 million price tag isn't for just any OL 2011 D penny. Nope, it's for one in pristine, uncirculated condition with a rare double die error. What's that? A double die error happens when the coin is struck twice during production, creating a subtle or not so subtle doubling effect on the design. It's like the coin has a shadow, but worth millions. Here's a little story for you. A few years back, I was at a flea market, and this older gentleman had a table full of coins. I saw a bunch of pennies and thought, just pocket change. But then I overheard him tell another customer, "This one here is worth more than my car." I laughed, thinking he was joking. Turns out he wasn't. It was a penny just like the one we're talking about today. And you know what? Ever since then, I've checked every penny that crosses my path. Haven't found the golden, or should I say copper, ticket yet, but hope springs eternal. Is your penny shiny and scratch-free? That's a good start. Look for coins that are uncirculated or in mint state. Grab a magnifying glass and check for doubling on Lincoln's face, the lettering, or even the memorial design. If you think you've got the real deal, send it to a professional grading service. They'll confirm if it's truly a rare find. Now, I get it. The idea of examining every penny might sound like a tedious chore. But think about it this way. If you can binge watch an entire season of your favorite show in a day, you can absolutely inspect a handful of coins. Just call it treasure hunting for adults. So, here's your mission. Should you choose to accept it, start checking those coins. The next time you see a 2011 D penny, don't just toss it in the tip jar. Could be your ticket to a life-changing payday. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. I share tips on how to spot valuable coins, avoid fakes, and turn your pocket change into big bucks. Who knows? Your next penny could be the one that makes you a millionaire.